Hello, welcome to Math Just Got Easier for You. Today's lesson is on properties of equality. Now, these are very important whenever we are solving equations. So, the first property we're going to look at is our reflexive property. The reflexive property says that A equals A, just that simple. All right, so if I'm presented with 5x, then I know 5x equals 5x. And this is the reflexive property. The symmetric property is if A equals B, then B will equal A. It's symmetric. So for instance, if I had 1 plus 7 equals 8, through the symmetric property of equality, I can put 8 equals 1 plus 7. This is the symmetric property. The next property is the transitive. And the transitive states that if A equals B and B equals C, then A will equal C. An example of this is if we had 2x equals 5, and we know that y equals 5. So if 2x equals 5, and we also know that y equals 5, then this will lead us to the conclusion that 2x equals y. The next property of equality is substitution. And substitution says if A equals B, then you can replace A with B. So if I had A equals B and A plus X equals 14, then I will also know that B plus X equals 14. The next property is addition. If A equals B, then A plus X will be the same thing as B plus X by the property of addition. When I'm solving an equation and I have X minus 2 equals 5, then what I can do is, in order to cancel out that negative 2, then I will add 2 here in order to do it. But what I do to one side, I must do to the other side. And with the addition property of equality, it makes it legal. So now I have x minus 2 plus 2, which cancels out, leaving me with x equals 5 plus 2 is 7. With the subtraction property of equality, if a equals b, then a minus x will be the exact same thing as b minus x. With this one-step equation, x plus 2 equals 5, I can use my subtraction property in order to cancel out my positive 2. And I can do this by subtracting 2 from that side. But what I do to one side, I must do to the other. And with the subtraction property of equality, it allows me to subtract 2 from the other side as well. So I have x plus 2 minus 2, which means 2 minus 2 is 0, so it leaves me with x on the left side equals 3 on the right side. With the multiplication property of equality, if a equals b, then a times x will be the same as b times x. For example, if I have x divided by 2 equals 4, and in order to get rid of that 2 in my denominator, I can multiply it times 2. And my multiplication property of equality allows me that whatever I do on the left side, I also can do it on the right side. So that will cancel out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that leaves me with x on the left side. And it leaves me with 8 on the right side. The last property we're going to talk about is the division property of equality. If A equals B, then A divided by X will be the exact same thing as B divided by X. For example, if I know that 2 times X equals 4, then that means 2X, in order to cancel it out, I have to divide by 2. The division property of equality says that I can do that exact same thing on the other side. Divide by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, leaving me with 1x, or just plain x, equals 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. Now, this lesson has just showed you the properties of equality. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for our next topic.